Fellas, today we're going to be training at the UK's smallest pure gym. Only joking, I don't actually know if it's the smallest pure gym, but let's say I wouldn't be surprised because it is indeed a very small pure gym, and definitely the smallest gym I've ever been to, apart from my garage gym. So we're going to see if we can hit our usual pull workout, let's see if we can still have an effective workout, and let's see if I think you can make gains training at a gym like this that's obviously very, very minimal in terms of equipment. The heaviest dumbbells we obviously have in this place are good old 40 kilos, which I can definitely rep out on the dumbbell press, the shoulder press, and even the row for quite a few. So if you're a fairly strong fella, this is not possibly the best gym for you. So we have 4 squat racks in total as part of this, kind of whole black box station, which I'm sure isn't too uncommon for a pure gym. If quite a few people are hitting a leg day at the same time, you're not going to be able to find the rack and obviously do some fun barbell squats. But we are in fact hitting pull today, so we're going to start off with a nice and simple barbell row, which you can pretty much do at any gym, especially this gym. It's luckily got a barbell and some plates, so yeah, we're going to do some barbell rows, hold the whole back, and start this session with that, which is actually obviously what I've got programmed. And I don't tend to try and deviate from my program a lot or at all, especially when I'm at new gyms. So the fact I can get a barbell and some plates is good, but that's kind of why I've picked that barbell row as a staple in my pull days. So wherever I am, whenever I am at a different gym, I can obviously do it. So yeah, luckily this small pure gym allows me to do that. It'd be pretty damn bad if it didn't. Okay, we've got 2 plates on the bar. See how many reps we can get. In general, these 20s are definitely much smaller than your classic kind of Olympic 20s, like these bumpers for example. So we're going even lower thanks to that. But if you're deadlifting, just bear that in mind if you train in a gym like this that has these old school Zivas, because these 20s are not the size of Olympic 20s, and therefore you're already going to be pulling out of a deficit if you're deadlifting or something like that. But yeah, we're going to do some rows and we want a deficit, so any bigger deficit is totally fine for us. More range of motion, more stretch. Straps, HardBody, code DAVIDPT. Belt, HardBody, code DAVIDPT. Really high quality, nice colorways, aesthetic. Save you some money, get yourself some solid accessories. Right, that is my barbell rows ticked off, and luckily after that we jump into a hanging leg raises, simply to decompress the spine, get our abs out the way, and give our back a little rest before the rest of our back work. Although we're mainly targeting our upper back, the erectors, our whole back is working to an extent, and I'd rather give it a little bit of a rest, decompress the spine, hit my abs, and then go kind of relatively more fresh into my other back work. But yeah, in general, if you train at a gym like this, which doesn't even have an ab crunch machine, hanging leg raises or decline crunches are going to be your best bet anyway. There is indeed only one bench press. Good job I don't bench press, and good job I don't come to this gym. Luckily, we've got our hands on a lat pull down, fellas, with a decent neutral grip accessory as well. So not half bad. We can still obviously stick to our program relatively closely. Ouch. Not the worst lat pull down I've used, although to be fair, now that I think about it, probably is the worst I've used. Definitely not ideal because it doesn't allow you to get a full stretch, and these pads are awfully awkward. It's kind of too high but too low at the same time. In general, the machine is obviously like a multi-station, so I don't expect anything less, but overall we would obviously prefer to be able to get that nice full stretch. Now, credit where it's due, this gym does have something pretty cool, and that is a rep counter on some of the machines, which I've never seen in any gym, let alone a pure gym. So pretty cool, pretty high-tech stuff. Especially, when you're someone like myself who trains quite hard and therefore forgets how many reps they are actually getting. Not having to watch back a video, but instead having it on your machine is pretty useful. So yeah. Okay, our next movement is a chest supported dumbbell row. We've been lucky enough to acquire a bench in the free weight section, which has been taken for quite a long time, but nonetheless, it's all right. We can do the chest supported dumbbell row as our final movement. The reason I do so, simply because there is no other chest supported machine row in this gym, and obviously a chest supported row is ideal, especially when you're fatigued and obviously coming to the end of your session. In general, I think this gym is starting to get a little bit busier, and therefore, if you train, anywhere close to peak times, probably going to have a fairly hard time acquiring some equipment. But nonetheless, we move. I think I'm pissing off a few of the gym members with my camera, but hopefully when it gets told off, we don't become too obnoxious with our camera setup. I'm going to put it over there in the corner and hopefully get some nice footage of some chest supported dumbbell rows, which are a great, fantastic movement that you can perform at pretty much any gym, but especially this one with very minimal equipment. But we might not be able to go as heavy as we'd like, or if you're stronger than me, you definitely won't be able to go as heavy as you'd like. Also, just a quick little tip when you failed on your chest supported dumbbell rows, after you've done some legs and partials, of course, do some kelso shrugs just to accumulate a bit more of that direct trap volume. It's very easy to do so, and your traps will likely still be relatively fresh because they're not going to be a limiting factor in your row, of course. So definitely accumulate more effective work where you can. Okay, last exercise, we're finishing off with a bicep superset, which you can pretty much perform at any gym. I obviously train at a normal pure gym, one a little bit better than this, but nonetheless, the same principles apply. The gym is usually busy. Although we've got 2 preacher benches, it's usually hard to get onto one. And although we've got plenty of free weight benches, again, sometimes they may be taken. So in a pure gym or in any busy gym, you may want to save a little bit of time and accumulate as much quality volume as you can. And in that case, something like this superset, doing some dumbbell curls with the back support, of course, on the preacher curl, works really nicely as an effective superset. So I'm going to take these to failure, and then we're going to do some preacher curls. No more. And guys, this superset does in fact work really nicely because you see the dumbbell curl will obviously load that mid to shortened position, whilst this will obviously drop off in that shortened position that we've just fatigued, and it will actually load the position that we are a little bit stronger with, which is the mid to lengthened range. So a fantastic superset from efficiency perspective. I have to say though, I think I went a little bit too light on this, which isn't ideal. Means we're just going to get plenty of reps. But if you are afraid of getting, a tear or anything like that, then by all means, better to be safe than sorry and go for that lighter option. And obviously make the movement more difficult with your execution and control. Right fellas, pump check, very, very good pump. Very, very good session in general. I think the final verdict is, if you train at a gym like this, one with minimal equipment, or even this gym, you can definitely still make really good progress. However, it may require you to be just a little bit more methodical with your training, your approach, and obviously make sure you're obviously executing everything that you do the best you can, being a little bit more methodical about your exercises, trying to make them as good as they can be, picking more sensible options, and along with that, training damn hard, because if you can do that, you're gonna make the best progress, right? So in general, remember that. Don't let the gym that you come to be a limiting factor for your gains. In general, you can still make around 95 to 98% of your potential gains, I'd say pretty confidently. Again, if you have access to better equipment, use it for sure. It could possibly help you get, just that extra 1 to 2%. It's not going to be the end of the world if you can't. So yeah, bear that in mind. And train hard and smart, fellas, and be kind. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. like the video and comment what you'd want to see me, cover more of.